So next up, we've got one of the tallest ones on the table. You can see these 3 gallons are massive. We have Liquidamber Slender Silhouette. Now this is a fast growing, very narrow plant.
I love this plant selection by our friend Don Shadow. It's actually the reason why the name Slender Silhouette also got added to Sukasa, was because this one already had that narrow shape. And this is probably the quickest narrow growing plant we've got here on the table.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for this one to put on over 2 feet of growth a year once it's established. That first year you get a lot of root growth, and after that they tend to really take off. Very, very narrow. It's distinctly a narrow, thin sweet gum. Some great fall colors on this one too. It can get golden, yellows to oranges in that fall color. A lot of people will send us sweet gums and say, hey, what maple is this? And we're like, no, that's Slender Silhouette. I know exactly the plant you're talking about. So we get asked about this one a lot, being maple guys. But an awesome tree to add to your landscape, especially for speed of height. If you want some columnar plants quick, think about the Slender Silhouette. It's going to go out and really fill out nicely and give you a very regal, almost monument-like feel in the landscape because of that narrow presence.
Exactly, and this is a tree that will get about 25 feet in 10 years. I mean, so it stays really, really narrow and fills out in that narrow shape like you're talking about.
Right.
I mean, we're talking 3-4 feet in width, extremely narrow, but a tremendous size and a tremendous height. It's a plant that's great for English formal gardens to have as like an entranceway. They've got some out at the North Carolina Arboretum as specimen plants, because this plant stands out, grabs your attention, and it just adds to a garden without taking away from the garden.
I love it near driveways. I saw a really interesting thing done with these. We were at Michael Steinhardt's garden, and he had probably pairings of 20 of these done as screening plants. And it really was unique. I mean, he planted them very close together, but it made a large screening plant that was, I mean, they were probably 40 feet tall at that point, some very old mature ones, but he'd planted them very close together, and you had these just growing columns, but also these rows of growing columns. It was very cool to see.
He also had like a mass planting of them where they were just not planted in a row, but planted just in a grouping. And it was such a unique way to grow this and added a different interest you don't see grown with many plants. Awesome, awesome plant. I also have seen this lining walkways. And, you know, about every 6-7 feet, someone's planted another one. And it gives such a unique way to screen off a garden, to make an entrance to a garden, to line down a border, but also as a specimen.
I mean, they're super durable too, so if you could think of this one as almost street tree durability as well. I like it near driveways and things like that where you want the height of a tree, but you can't necessarily have the width there. Great plant to fill out very, very quickly. I'm probably going to put a row of them at the front of the nursery to kind of have like a little bit of an entrance way there with those two, but awesome plant to be growing.